Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis, and this is Kaon Reviews. Now, as you saw in the intro, today's review video is going to focus on Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origin Autobot Jazz. And I have to say, when I first saw the teasers of this figure, plus its reveal, and not to mention reviews from reviewers like Prime vs. Prime and Chefatron, I had to get him. I really did. And seeing him that he was available for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse, I went ahead and jumped at the chance. So I'm grateful that he came in. As of this recording, he was available to be picked up at my P.O. box this past weekend. So, as you can tell, he is still in the box. He still has that big open window, but you got that really great rendering. Of course, you do have other renderings of Autobot, Optimus and Megatron, but you also have this beautiful side artwork. Very awesome. I'm really liking that. Then you have the digital renderings, of Jazz, and I'm going to pull that closer so you can take a closer look. Pull this up just a bit. There we go. And man, of course he's got, that whole new Evo fusion, and it's pretty cool. I'm liking it. Very nice, because it does give an alternate, way of shooting that hook. Now I'm going to see if I can try I'm going to see if I can try and find, a blast effect that will connect to the gun and the hook and to the to the mechanism that connects to the hook, and so forth. Because I know I'm babbling. I do apologize. I really wish they would include blast effects with some of these gimmicks here. That would make it so much more awesomer. And yes, it is a word. But I'm really liking this. I really cannot wait to get him opened up. And let's go ahead and take a quick look. And wow. Oh, sorry. And there he is. Very nice chest sculpt. And I more than likely, just like all the others, I will be bringing out my Origins Bumblebee as well as my Studio Series Jazz for comparisons between them. But now that we have this one, oh my God, I can only hope and pray that we get, Wheeljack, in this. And then, of course, let's face it, since we're going through Origins, I'm thinking you might as well go ahead and throw Soundwave and Laserbeak in the mix. Even if Soundwave's alt mode happens to be some sort of communications tower, and Laserbeak would be a very interesting thing. Hopefully not a rehash of him from Siege, but to give him that circular look that he had in the G1 cartoon. That would be awesome. And of course, a little bit more tune accurate G1, Origin Tetrajets. That would actually be cool. And that should round off the whole, Origin line right there. Of course, this is just me talking. Okay? I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. But, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, putting it out there, Hasbro. if you look at any of my videos. But let's go ahead and move on. So without any further ado, let's get him opened up. All right, folks, there he is out of his box, and he's ready to go ahead and basically throw Prime a line. And wow, I mean, just briefly looking at it, I am very, very impressed. Granted, yeah, he's a little bit much smaller in scale in terms of the Studio Series Jazz, especially you know in his mass, width wise. So, but one thing that I do have is, of course, naturally the waffling, and granted, that's been a thing for as long. And I guess when I was a kid, it really didn't bother me. Now it aggravates the hell out of me. No, but again, it is what it is. But also at the same time, we also have the pistol here is molded in black instead of molded and then painted in silver. I may go ahead and go back and paint that later. So that may happen. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, this hook attachment, is really awesome. I really like it. I wish they did a blast effect which would connect it as if he just finished launching it. But again, going by tune accuracy and whatnot, this piece should have been at least a type of gunmetal gray. So again, I may go back and paint that myself. There's a little bit of paint scuffing here, but you know what? It's all good. I really like it. That head sculpt is really awesome looking. Geez. I mean, if Toy Hex does wind up making a making a set of labels, it'll probably be for just minor things. Because unlike his Studio Series 1, which made it more toy accurate now, I don't think he requires that on this one. Again, this is just my own personal opinion. But very, very nice looking. Again. And of course, just to let you all know, this thing is stiff. Oh man, don't get me wrong. I like it when there's at least some good stiffness, or on the joints and stuff, because that means the posability is going to last for a very long time. So speaking of posability, let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead. Can he do his Kung Fu kick? Hydraulic! Yes! He does do the Kung Fu kick. You know what? I haven't done the Kung Fu poses for any of my figures for quite a while. So it's like, yeah. That is really awesome. I'm really liking that. So let's go ahead and yes, I am posing them, so I do apologize for that. But very nice. So he does, like I was showing you, he does come with his, his laser pistol, the winch and the hook, which he does do that Evo fusion type thing. Oop. Ow. Let's see. There we go. So he can be like where he's got the winch, the And yes, right there. So let's go ahead. Like he's looking at something. Oh yeah. And let's just get him to where you can actually see where you see that on there. Very nice. I like that. It's very rare that I like any of the Evo fusions for some of the figures. But very, very nice. So let's go ahead and do some articulation. So as you can tell, the head is on a ball joint, and he does have incredible range of motion. And sorry, there was a bit of, but I guess a box shaving on there. So he can look to the right, he can look to the left, he can do a 360, he can look down, he can look, or I should say look up, then look down. He does have great range of motion with waist rotation. His arms are on a hinge, so you do see that on there. His arms can go, I want to say, yeah, they can go 360. And if you don't have the weapons on him, that's fine. That way it won't snag on anything on his legs. His arms can bend about 90 degrees. There is no wrist rotation, however, but they can fold in due to transformation or accessory-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and just, take this thing off. And yes, I know he fell. Let's put that on there. There we go. Put that off to the side. And let's put his hand out. Take his other weapon off. There we go. So he can kick up around 90 degrees. He can bend around 90 degrees. He can kick back, where he's literally kicking his own back. He does have upper thigh rotation, and he does have an ankle tilt. Very extreme ankle tilt. And so he can do, some major splits. So, and let's go ahead and take a look at a lot of the molded detail. I mean, you all saw the face and everything. There's a close-up of his, of his chest. Very reminiscent of the G1 cartoon as well. A lot of good molded detail along the underside of his mid-abdomen, along his crotch piece. You do see some molded details. Light hits it on his legs, his calves over here. In the front of his shins. The back over here, and you'll see this more accentuated in vehicle mode when I transform him. And he's got very, very nice backpack over here. Very nice. I have to say, I am so liking this. Now, one thing I really wish they did do was just go ahead and just do a complete paint job over this. But I guess, if Toy Hacks does do a label set, they may go ahead and, put some labels that will actually cover this side out. So that would complete the illusion. So, not too bad though. I do like it. Very, very nice. And, wow. So, give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get some things arranged. And then we'll come back and do transformation. Alright, in preparation for the transformation process, I've gone ahead and already removed his accessories, as well as his weapon. And we're going to go ahead and start off with his hands. So we're going to go ahead and fold those in, like so. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and take the chest piece, disconnect it from the front, and put that over in front of here. So this chest piece is on a rocker hinge. So as you can tell, you just pull and push. At that point, you're going to go ahead, turn the arms this, or the forearms this way, so that way this piece here is facing out. And then you're just going to put that in front of his chest. Like so. Now once that's done, we're going to go ahead and take this piece of the back, pull that forward, and we're going to take this piece and move that forward. Now, just trying, because this is all clear plastic almost, just got to be mindful, because there have been instances where the clear plastic will break, and that will suck. So as you can tell, all this is already coming together. This front piece is there. I just noticed that there's a little bit of a overlay of blue, but I'm not too worried about that. It's a little scratch, but again, that's due to, I guess, either my deal or whatever. But at this point, we're going to take his toes, fold those over like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and take this section, pull that up, do the same on the opposite end. That's going to reveal the inside. Now, the instructions do say you got to push, connect these legs together and push them in. However, I am kind of weird because, like I stated earlier, mine has a very, very tight fit. Also, one of the things you need to do is, and you should have done this, there's this little flap here that you got to pull out prior to pushing these legs in. So make sure you do that. Make sure that there's enough clearance to do so. Now, all you got to do is just push the legs in. Now, one thing that I just noticed myself, there's a tab right here. And it's going to go into that slot right here in the forearm. So, there you go. Now, you're just going to go ahead and start, snapping everything in. And remember that notch that I had mentioned to you earlier. This little slot here. It's going to go, this peg here on the side of the door is going to tab into it. And there we go. Just try and snap everything in there. Now we're going to do the same with the other leg. For those that didn't see it the first time. Now we're going to go ahead and try and start snapping everything together. There we go. And there we go. There he is in all his Cybertronian glory. Okay. And I have to say, he's not bad. He's standing very well. The only thing that I do have an issue is that his part of his chest, his shoulder and arms are sticking out. But I'm assuming because you're not going to be looking at the underside most of the time, it just gives that illusion that he is floating. So, very, very nice. So, there he is in vehicle mode. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring out Origins Bumblebee as well as, Studio Series Jazz. And we're going to go ahead and do a comparison on each. Now, there is both Bumblebee and Jazz Origin version, and I'm liking it. I mean, I was very surprised as well as pleased with with the stylized version. Especially in his robot mode, it's still stylized, but it's mostly because of his G1, or I should say his Origin alt mode, which gave him a totally different look. But they did try to keep that old G1 styling, so I'm liking that. Same thing with Jazz so far. As you saw in the transformation, in this version he's a lot thinner, as I stated previously, and the alt mode, gave it that look. So honestly, if Hasbro's listening, give us Wheeljack. This will complete the Origins line for the Autobots. Then work on the Decepticon Origins, Soundwave, the Seekers. That would be cool. Soundwave, Laserbeak, Seekers. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out Studio Series Jazz, and then we'll continue on with the comparison. So here we have, and you can see the differences are as like night and day. This version, as I stated earlier, what is a lot slender than the Studio Series. Though this one seems to be a little taller in height. He's got that big old wide chest on him, whereas this version's a little bit more slender all the way around. And of course, because I did put on repo labels, he does have that reflective visor on him, as you can see. And this one has that straight, painted visor. So I don't know, if I do wind up getting I should say, if Toy Hacks does make a label set, I'm probably going to be selective as to what I will put on them. Now, granted, you got these two peg holes on there, where, as on this shoulder, he's got the labels for that. So, like I said, there's not going to be a whole lot on there. So, I think it'll pretty much be bare minimum on this. And if they do have a reflective visor, I may put it on there. I don't know yet. I'll have to see how it's going to look. But as you can tell, this one's a little bit wider because of the vehicle mode that it had, that he has adopted and whatnot. So very, very nice. Though I will more than likely paint this. Get some chrome paint, chrome silver paint, and just paint that, or just get silver paint and I'll paint that. Just making sure that I keep the handle, bare, so it doesn't tighten up like it does with most things that you paint. But other than that, very nice, very nice look. Like I said before, I'm really liking what I see so far. So there he is in robot mode. Let's go ahead and take a look at them in vehicle mode. Now, I did say I was going to go ahead and do that comparison between Studio Series Jazz and Origins Jazz, but I almost forgot. I wanted to go ahead and show off their vehicle modes in their Origin version. So here they are. Very nice, as you saw earlier in the transformation. The only complaint I had about it was the arm sticking out. They could have done some engineering to where it would have shifted in a little bit more, but I think I see why. To give them that illusion of a hovercraft, just like with Bumblebee. So we'll see how Jazz is going to stand out in this case, if and when they actually make one. So I'm hoping that they do. So let's go ahead and continue on. And there they both are in their respective vehicle modes. And like I said, a totally different as night and day. Naturally, because this is more of a more of a futuristic science fiction type vehicle compared to, at the time, high performance vehicle of Earth standards. So very, very nice. I'm really liking both of them. So let me go ahead and get these guys transformed. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and give you my final thoughts and my score. All right, folks, thank you for your patience and waiting. There they are, all transformed, posed up, and ready for battle. And I have to say, despite a couple of complaints concerning the figure, the accessories itself, the figure itself, is tight. I'm liking that it is tight. But not tight to where you're gonna accidentally break it or anything. So it's good. The color scheme for the blaster, well, like I said, it's an easy fix. All I gotta do is just paint it. Not a big deal. Blast effects. I'm trying to see if I can find some blast effects that would go well with that hook launcher. So if anyone has any idea of where I can find that, compatible set, or just blast effects in general, let me know in the comments, please. I really appreciate it. I didn't show a whole lot of posability because of that tightness. I'm afraid that I was going to go ahead and break it, but I have seen others that have done some really good posing on this, and I'm very impressed with this figure. I really am. So I'm really looking forward to seeing whether or not Hasbro will bring out an Origins Wheeljack. If they do, that will complete my Origins Autobot set. And I'm hoping that they do the same with the Decepticons, starting with Soundwave and Laserbeak. I mean, granted, he transforms into, I'm assuming, is a telecommunications post, and of course, a more G1 tune Origins, version of Laserbeak. No discredit to the one he had in Siege, but that is what I liked. And since Hasbro is giving us this, I'm hoping that they go to that extra mile in doing so. But if I have to, as a matter of fact, let me get these two out of the way. And let's concentrate on this bad boy over here. So if I had to go ahead and give it a score on a scale of 1 through 10, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10, despite the issues with the tightness and the lack of blast effects for the hook, and of course the color of the blaster. He's a good figure. It's a great homage to his origins mode, and yeah, he's deserving of this. I'm giving him a 10. So that's my take on the figure. That is my opinion. I want to hear from you. Were you able to pick this up? Now, as a matter of fact, I wound up, and I think I did mention this earlier, I wound up pre-ordering this through Hasbro Pulse. So I will take a look at Hasbro Pulse, Big Bad Toy Store, and a couple of others, and if they are still available on the respective sites, I will put a link in the description down below. But moving on, have you been able to find this one? And if you did, do you like them? Do you hate them? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. Click onto the bell icon so you can be notified when I post up new videos. Now I want to go ahead and thank everyone who has viewed my videos, liked them, and on occasion inquired about the figures, or even just made a general comment. I really appreciate that. Please keep it coming. And I know I've asked this on numerous occasions, but if you have an idea of a figure that you want to see, let me know. I'll see if I can try and snag it. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.